We're back on the Vicky show.
Yes, Little James did we just chill out having a heat. I had a cocktail. Little James, you don't drink.
No.
Do you do drugs? Any
Not
type of
at all.
drugs? No e-pills, no weed. Also, Little James is a sober cat. Now, Little James, I want to just get back into the girls you don't see again for Vogue Femme. You said a lot of names, but we left a lot out. What about Bam Bam Malone?
Don't see it.
Don't see it. What about Chi Chi 007? Because you know they kicked her out the house.
Don't really
See Tashana Garson.
I can live without it.
What about she remember Shoshana? Remember her? She used to be a Mizza.
Yeah, I
back in
remember
the
her. I
day.
mean, she was on the first ball I ever seen, but I still can live without it.
What about it? Now, what about the legendary Vogue Femme girls? Even though they're legendary, but like, is there any girls that you feel like legendary should not be legendary yet? Like, what about the Malakas, the Toros?
Legendary, but I don't see their legendary status or see.
Just don't see a legendary status.
No, I mean, you know, as far as like, for the most part, I can say, you know, I do know my history for Vogue Femme, but when it comes to a lot of people, you know, I really don't even really care for their history. I'm making my own history.
Making your own history.
You know, I don't really worry about what they did.
Right. Now, Lou James, do you want to be legendary? Like, that's what you want? Like, do you want
you know, when I watch the show, I actually hear a lot of people say that they don't want to be legendary. I'm not going to say that I don't want to be legendary. When my time comes, I'm not rushing my legendary, put it like that. You know, I do what I do. I strive to be the best at what I do. So, you know, when it comes time, if I'm legendary, then, oh, well, you know, this is what I do. I do it because I want to, not because I'm forced to.
Right.
So, you know, if I become legendary, then that's perfectly fine with me. If I don't, that's fine, too.
Right. Now, how do you feel about, since, you know, you, and to me, you, for the House of Con, I feel like Sonic was like she was a heavy and you was a heavy. Then you got Little Tony left the house, right? No, she's still in the house. Shout out to Little Tony. I like his role. I like like a big girl. Like, he's not really big, but I feel like for a heavy girl, she do what she got to do.
Right.
But I just feel like for that whole situation, how do you feel about her leaving the house? Like, do you feel like bitch, I'm gonna see you on the floor, or how is there any shade or
Sonic? No, there's no shade between us. We had this conversation. Basically, it was at first, Sonic was more on, he's just on a hiatus, you know, like he was just going to chill out. It wasn't he left the house. My problem was, you know, you said this, then you come back to me at, I'm a 007 once Ayana and everybody leaves, you know, and I'm just like, now you want to come back.
Right,
you know, it's just like, it kind of makes me think, like, you know, what was your point of leaving from the start?
Right, now from what I saw, his guy, Little James, that he was trying to be an Ebony in Baltimore. I had Baltimore, she's a heavy hitter from Baltimore, Ebony, and she actually put me personally, like, Sonic tried to be an Ebony in that chapter, in that region, and they denied her. Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't know nothing
about that. So would y'all let her come back to the house, or no, she ain't come back?
No.
Oh, so her time is up.
Right.
Oh, Sonic.
We need nothing but.
But it's no. But you saying there's no shade though.
Not at all.
But she just can't come back to the house.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you're in a house, if this is where you want to be, you would never leave. You would never even consider going to another house. You know what I'm saying? We need nothing but loyal members in our house. If you're not loyal, then go here about your business. We don't need or want for anybody.
Right. Now, speaking of the House of Con, Little Jen, how did you feel about the whole, like, you know, Selma just coming in? You know, she was a Mizza. She came in and got all these. So a lot of people in New York call them like all these village knots, these little knots, and all that. How do you feel about all that going down in your house? Like, they used to you got mad Vogue Femme. Do you feel intimidated by any of the other girls in your house?
No, not at all. You know, personally, I feel like I'm not in competition with nobody in my house. We're competing together against other people, so I'm not going to compete with my members. As far as the Selvin issue go, I don't feel any type of way about Selvin. Being as though I don't know if everybody knows my house history, but because I know my house history, I know that when Selvin got in the house, you know, as of last year, we've got more of the years, house of the years, anything we've ever got before. We have a lot more $1,000 winners. Personally, I'm not even a $1,000 winner. We have people outside of this chapter that Selvin's put in the house that won multiple $1,000. So, you know, I commend everything what Selvin do. I know she knows what she's talking about. As far as the New York chapter goes, everybody has to start somewhere. Selvin was starting a new chapter. She can't take everybody from, you know, another house to make, you know what I'm saying, to make this house better. So you have to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I look at people like, I look at Jamie, which when she was at Ebony, she wasn't being seen. Now,
speaking of Jamie Lee, she came on, I didn't put a clip up yet, actually, because I'm on vacation. I'm doing promotion in D.C., so I didn't put a clip up, but she talked about leaving House of Con, and how do you feel about that? Like, I heard y'all was linked. I don't know if that was linked.
No, as far as what?
As far as dating?
Not at all.
No, that was not, okay, that was a lot in, so we claim that up. But how do you feel about Jamie Lee and all those other girls that left the House of Con?
You know, I haven't.
Is she a Mizrahi now?
Right. I haven't heard from, you know what I'm saying, anything Jamie said about the house at all yet. So I won't really speak too much on it because me and Jamie personally, our communication together was fine. You know, we talked about it a little bit afterwards, but by that time I had already got that she was a Miss Rahi. This was like a couple days later after she left the house. So I basically left it as, you know what I'm saying, Jamie, you made your decision. You know what home is. This is home to me. If it was home to you, you wouldn't be going to another house. So, you know what I'm saying, I wish her the best of wherever she goes. You know, I mean, it's nothing I can really say. As far as the girls like Chantel go, you know what I'm saying, I watched her show. I really, honestly, Chantel, I've never been a big fan of her as far as, you know what I'm saying, like us speaking and stuff like that, because Chantel to me, she's like, I don't know, personally I think she's a front. That's just my personal opinion, but I don't know her to speak on that. But what I'm saying, she's a front to me. You know what I'm saying? She got on the show, she made it seem like the House of Con was this and the House of Con was that, but nobody knew Chantel before the House of Con. You know what I'm saying? Y'all may have known her outside the ballroom scene, but as far as the ballroom scene goes, House of Con put you where you were. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't really respect people like that. I really don't care for it at all. So, you know, it's no shade. You can take it how you want it. I'm saying what I'm saying. I'll say it to whoever. You know, so I mean, that's just about it. I mean, as far as my Asia, I still talk to
That's
my
what I asked you about her. She's the icon now. How do you feel about the whole my Asia?
You know, my Asia, I've talked to my Asia on and off. I've never got a bad vibe from my Asia. You know what I'm saying? Me and her we always talk on our own. I've yet to hear my Asia say anything bad about the house. I respect my Asia because she left, you know what I'm saying? She left because she wanted to leave, not because other people was leaving. So, you know what I'm saying? I respect my Asia more than anything.
Now, a lot of people said, we just speaking about the House of Con real quick because there was a lot of buzz going on. How did you feel about like when Diego got the father position, and a lot of people was leaving because of that, and they feel like he was not ready, he was just like type new. How do you feel about, even though that's not your father, well, that's your father, but that's not your chapter father, how do you feel about Diego being a father? Do you see it?
You know, at first, honestly, I didn't. I'm not gonna say I didn't see it because it was simply Diego, but I felt Diego, you know what I'm saying, because Diego does his own thing as far as working and stuff like that. You know, I felt because of all of that, on top of him being his age, I didn't really feel like he would get that respect, you know what I'm saying, or he was ready for that responsibility. But he proved me wrong. He did. You know what I'm saying? Like when it came down to it, he helps me out a lot. So you know what I'm saying, Diego, he made me know it. He did his thing.
Shout out to Diego. He's also a friend of his show, and he's gonna come back on the show to his own for season 3. He said he's coming back on. Now, wait, I'm trying to think. So I have time. I think I'm gonna make this another part. Now I'm gonna just ask you a little bit. I want to know now. Like, I know you Con's where you at, but like, no shade, Lou Jane, if you had another place to go, like when you get like people you get in your 20s or late 30s, what house would you see yourself being in? If, you know, I know Con is confident, but if you had somewhere else to go, what other house do you see Little James being in?
You know, I actually at one point I really couldn't see myself being in another house, but you know what I'm saying, just me and my friends, we have conversations like what house we may, you know, want to go to, whatever the case may be. My personal choices of other houses would have been maybe Prodigy, Garcon, Balenciaga, and that's probably about it.
That's probably about it. Okay, we're gonna come back with more with Little James. We're gonna get into, actually, we're gonna get deep into his love. You know, he's in love. We're gonna talk about his scandals. We're gonna talk about his fighting. We're gonna talk about everything. So we're gonna come back with Little James Con.